all right. I want to get into all the beauty stuff, right? How do you feel like? Because I feel like we have a beauty trend. Like we have beauty standards, but they're trends, right? So like one year it can be like everybody gotta have Botox. Another year is like everybody gotta have BBLs. Like, how do you feel like things like that impact your business?
I think the trends do impact the beauty business quite a bit. But what I like to do is I don't really follow trends in my business. Like, I follow things that actually make sense for my clients, like treatments that are going to be long standing. I don't jump on every trend that I see on TikTok. You know, people send me things all the time like, "Oh, do you offer this?" And I'm like, "No." And then I explain to them like why it's not a good treatment. And then they're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense." But a lot of times they'll see it on TikTok or they'll see it on Instagram, and I'm like, just because people are doing it doesn't mean it's a good procedure or a good treatment to do. So I really am not big on trends, but sometimes, I think for me, I'm big on educating on trends. Some of them are good, a lot of them are not. So I think really educating people and letting them know why the trend is good or bad, helps a lot too.
So
Yeah.
what are some trends you felt that you've seen and you're like, oh, I just hope we don't get into this?
What was one I saw recently? And let me think. Okay, so and this is not really a trend. This is just something that I saw recently. It is kind of a trend. So plastic surgery, where women are like removing ribs and stuff like that to like get a smaller waist. That that's something that I don't get it. I don't understand it, and I don't know why somebody would remove like part of your rib just to get a smaller waistline. Like, and I feel like for me, when I see things like that, it's like a bigger picture, like what's going on with them emotionally or like internally that would make them compelled to do something like that. Like, clearly they feel like there's something wrong with them, like
Yeah.
real bad, to do that, and that it makes me feel sad because it's like, wow, you really think you're that bad that you need to, or your body's that bad that you have to remove your ribs. Like, I don't know, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. And I don't like a lot of these filter trends. So I get a lot of that too. Like,
What's
I get it.
filter trends?
So filter trends are like when I have clients who come in and they show me like a filter and they're like, "Can you make my lips like this filter?"
What?
Or can you make my like or they want their face like that, and I'm like, it's a filter. This is not a real person.
Wait, people want their face to be like
To
the
look like a
Instagram.
filter, yes. And I'm just
They're
like,
controlling us.
yes,
That's
yes.
scary.
And that really bothers me,
That's
especially when I
scary.
see like younger clients who come in, and I'm just like, they're just so misled, and they think that these people on Instagram and stuff are like, this how they really look. And I'm like, they don't, that's a filter they got on. They don't really look like that. But and you want to look like that, they don't even really look like that. Why would you want to look like that?
Wow. So do you do like lip injections and stuff like that?
I do.
Okay. So okay. How do you feel like, how do you know when like somebody's coming in for like, all right, something like a BBL, right? How do you know if somebody really could use a BBL, or like it's more so like they're so caught up in like media or like things like that? Like,
Well, I would say a procedure like a BBL.
what's good, y'all? Are y'all having a hard time starting conversations in large rooms? Do you need to find more effective ways to draw attention to yourself without wearing a fancy outfit? I figured out a hack. You need some Financial Revolution merch. Everything is a staple piece that represents black wealth. You are what you wear, so make sure you join the rest of the billionaires and get some FR merch. We have hoodies, sweatsuits, t-shirts, and much more. Make sure you visit www.financialrevolution.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Again, go to www.financialrevolution.com and use code podcast for a special 10% off. Let's get it, y'all.
But for like clients who come in like for lip filler, let's say, and they'll be like, "Oh, can you make my lips like Kim K lips or something like that?"
That's
or
scary.
and I'm like, but you don't have a Kim K face. You have your face and you have your lips, and so we can enhance your lips, but it's gonna look like your lips. It's not gonna look like Kim K's lips.
Yeah.
And so I have clients who like insist sometimes, or they're like, "Oh, I want very big lips," and I'm like, "We're not doing that." Like, you know, and I'm that type of injector that I'm gonna turn you away. I'm not
You're not Dr. Miami.
No, I'm not gonna do that. Like I don't, because at the end of the day, you're walking around with my work, and so
very true.
You're my billboard, basically.
Very true.
So I can't do something like that in a good conscience, knowing that doesn't look right on you. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna do it, and I turn clients away all the time for that. Like, I'll be like, you could go to another injector, but I'm not going to do that.
Wow.
I'm not gonna do it. And that's a hard one too, because it's like, it's my business and this is how I make money, but at the end of the day, I have to be able to sleep at night.
Yeah, morals.
You know?
Yeah. No, I feel like that's good morals. I really feel like that's good morals, because I feel like people will go to like Colombia and like all those Brazil and places where, like, you know, they just want the money.
Exactly.
You know
they don't care.
And they don't
like,
really
oh, you want a big butt? Oh, you want bigger? I got you.
Yeah.
You know, they do not care. They're not gonna try to talk you out of it or nothing.
So what are some of the like pro